Welcome to your reading. Let's get this going with a little bit of smudge. Let's let's move this over just a bit. Straighten that out just a tad so it's not so cockeyed. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the earth signs. Let's start with some sage to cleanse the area. Three chimes to bring in positive energy. This is a general reading for the earth signs of Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Oh my gosh, I'm starting that retrograde early. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Greta. I am an intuitive reader. If at any time during this reading you have any questions or you're seeking clarity on anything that we're talking about, do write that in the comment section and I will be very happy to help you find clarity. And thank you, Spirit. Messages for the earth signs. What would we like the listener or the watcher to know or to be aware of this evening? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the earth signs. And with this is going to be a good month to be an earth sign. You're winning. You're sending out positive karma, and the universe is reflecting that positive karma right back to you. And you're going to be receiving some wonderful gifts this Mercury retrograde. I think you're going to be surprised, pleasantly surprised. Many times when we're talking about the retrograde, we're talking about things slowing down and seeming to go into reverse. We take one step forward, two steps back. It's a really just a slow time, and anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But you are entering a time, you are entering the energy of everything that you touch is really succeeding. Everything you touch is really turning into gold. And you are going to find yourselves really busy, really hectically busy. I did do the Capricorn reading, so do keep your eye out for that pre recorded reading, Capricorns. Um, and the earth signs in general, things are going to be so busy, so chaotic, and you have so many positive things going for you. It's going to be a good idea to set some of those aside, to set some of those things on the back burner and just relax and wait for the end of September, or excuse me, the end of August or the beginning of September, before really picking up and going full speed ahead. This is your time. This is your month, the month of August, to pick one project to focus on, one project that will have top priority, and leave the others to wait, leave the others to rest. It really is going to give you time to complete your next project or the project that you're wanting to work on in wonderful time frame, wonderful fashion, and it's really going to springboard you up to the next level. I know for the earth signs, we've really been talking about moving into the next level, leveling up. And part of your leveling up process is really learning how to um, let some projects go and to really focus on one thing. When we're focusing on too many things at one time, we don't get anything done. But by really focusing in on the one project, you're going to find that you get a lot done in wonderful timing. And the foundation, the basis of this reading this evening is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is really spirit, really source, asking you, indicating that it's time to heal. It's time to give yourself space. It's time to give yourself room, time to give yourself permission to heal. And that is backed by the Two of Wands. And wands in the tarot represent fire. And fire is about our passions, about our desires. It's what motivates us, it's what really gets us out of bed. And here we see you have the world in your hands. But before you can take advantage of the future, before you can move forward, you need to take time. You need to pace yourself. You need to limit yourself. And I believe that goes back to, as we were talking about at the beginning of the reading, just not spreading yourself so thin. There's so many projects, there's so many demands for your time, for your energy, for your creativity, for your wisdom, for your know-how. And we need to really limit ourselves to just one, maximum two projects during the month of August, and really pace ourselves and give us time to heal and reflect as we're working through that. And let's see how that plays into the rest of this reading. Again, more wands, more fire, more passion. And we start with the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is really about our intuition and trusting that we know what is right for us, what is meant for us. Followed by the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is an organized chaos. It's the practice, it's the getting ready, it's the preparation. Followed by the Death card. And the Death card is not as ominous as we would like to convince ourselves. Um, you know, there is life in death, just like there's life after death. But when I see the Death card in a reading, it's indicating that there has been something that has lost its appeal, something that has lost its zest, lost its meaning. What was once important to you is no longer important to you, which is really an odd combination when we see all of these wands, all of this fire, all of this passion, and mastering your fire and mastering your passions. And again, I think it's spreading yourself too thin and really needing to cut back and limit the amount of projects that we are taking on at one time. That I believe that there's one project that you're wanting to put down, that you're wanting to let go, because simply this one project seems to be taking all of your energy and all of your zeal. It's almost like it's become burdensome to you. It's like you have to force yourself to go look at it. You have to force yourself to go in. You have to force yourself to deal with the people or the situation. And it's forcing yourself because there's so many other things that you would rather be working on. And then that is followed by the Empress card, which is the manifestation card. And it's the creating, the manifesting, the seeing our goals take shape, seeing what we have been working for so diligently start to come, start to take shape, seeing results for the effort that we have put in. You know, slow and steady movement and fresh starts. And honestly, even when we're talking about fresh starts, and this fresh start that I'm seeing here is really a fresh start, a new beginning on something that has already started. Um, Giving ourselves a new, fresh perspective on a project or something that we have been working on. Again, letting there's something that you've been working on, something that you're doing too many things at one time. You're spreading yourself too thin. And it's time to focus on that one project that brings meaning to your life. Time to focus on that one project that brings meaning to your life. I'm sorry if I'm on repeat, but Spirit keeps telling me or showing me the same thing. We have too many things going on. We need to slow ourselves down and focus on that one project that we're really passionate about. When we are working on multiple things at one time, we're working on too many things at one time, nothing is going to be accomplished. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the earth signs. And then we have the Nine of Cups. The banquet is set, the feast is ready. But we're being guarded, we're being protective of something. We have our guard up. We've created something. It's almost like we've been getting ready to have people into our home, to invite people into our home. It's like we've unlocked the door, we've prepared, but we're not ready to open the door and let people in, or people are knocking on the doorbell's ringing, and we're not letting people in, even though we've made preparations to let those people in. The Hangman card. And the Hangman card has been coming up quite a bit in readings. What I like about this Hangman card, it's the choice of awakening. And so sometimes spiritual awakenings will be the result of the universe, will be the result of a tower moment, things that happen that we don't have any control over, things that really strip us down to a rawness. But with the hangman, that is a spiritual awakening of choice. That is, we have chosen a journey to enlighten ourselves and to learn to express ourselves. You know, spiritual awakenings are really just a form of a re-evaluation of our consciousness. A re-evaluation of our consciousness that brings about the fool's journey. And the fool's journey is a fresh start, a new beginning, something that brings back the zeal into our lives. It's like something in your public life has drained you of your energy. And because of the energy drain, you've lost zest, you lost passion. And now in your private life, you have that new passion, you have that new zeal. There's so many things that you want to work on personally. I think up until the recent past, or even maybe today, even, that now it's not about what you're doing in your public life, what you're doing for your career. It's what are you doing? What are you creating for yourself? Hi, Cheryl in South Africa. Thank you and welcome to my channel. I appreciate you checking in, Cheryl. Oh my gosh, I had such a good friend a few years ago named Cheryl. I love that name, Cheryl. And how is South Africa? Oh my gosh, South Africa is on my bucket list. And so we have new, fresh beginnings. And what I like about this new, fresh beginning for you is you have that hobo's knapsack. That's what I call that, hobo's knapsack. It's just a handkerchief um, tied to a wand or tied to a stick. But in that knapsack is everything that is needed for this new journey. And it's only left up to you to unpack that. Everything you have, you need, it's left to unpack. And then we have the 10 of Wands. And the tens in tarot represents endings and beginnings. And of all of the tens in the tarot, I think I appreciate the 10 of Wands the most. Because the 10 of Wands, it is an ending, but it's the bringing in of the harvest. It's the reaping what we have sown and really preparing to enjoy what we have sown. It's time to enjoy what you have sown. Finding gratitude and finding balance in makes, you know, gratitude, thankfulness are the littlest changes that we can bring to our lives, that we can bring into our mindset, that we can use to adjust our energy. And it's those little changes that make the biggest results in our or for our environment. That is what I see you. I'm so happy for you. That is what I see here. You know, your professional life has really been pulling you away from your private life. You and even those closest to you in your private life have noticed this void, have noticed this disconnect. But again, especially during the month of August for this Mercury retrograde, when things are slowing down, and again, going back to just finding one project, one thing that we would like to accomplish in our public life, in our business, in our work, in our career, in our education, just the one project that we would like to complete in the month of August. And really putting everything else on the back burner is really opening up that time span for you to spend in your home life and for you to fill that void that's been created in your home life. There's a lot of warmth and there's a lot of affection to be shared in your home life, but it is up to you to commit to making that time for your home life. Thank you. And our home life, if our home life is out of balance, nothing in our life is going to be in balance. It's a little bit like that saying, if mama's not happy, no one's happy. If our home life isn't happy, nothing is nothing is happy. If we cannot view and go to our home as a refuge, as a place of love, as a sanctuary, as our safe place, nothing that we say or do any otherwise can uh, fall into place like we would like it to. And again, manifest like we would like it to. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the listener today. And then we have the Eight of Swords. We're feeling stuck. We're feeling like maybe we're backed into a corner. We're getting the impression that there's something that we can't change. It's like no matter how hard we try, no matter what we do, this situation is not going to change. We're unable to see a solution. Followed by the Three of Wands, looking towards our future, moving towards our future, getting ready to follow our passions, getting ready to follow our heart's desires. Followed by the Six of Swords, which is, we could even call this exit stage right. It's like, we leave the stage. We don't need a bow. We don't need a farewell. We don't need any final words. We're just going to gracefully bow out. Yes. And then we have the Tower card. And again, we were kind of talking about the Tower card being an indicator of a spiritual awakening, a forced change, an act of God that really forces our lives to change and really changes our perspective on life. Our perspective of life changes from one of being physical to one that is spiritual. We cut ties with all of our physical belongings and the things that we thought that we needed so desperately really lose their pull, really loses their draw on us. And we're really forced to look within, to look at our spiritual being and our connection with God. I think because you are feeling backed into the corner, that karma is demanding honesty here. I don't know if this is honesty from you or honesty from another person, or maybe even just honesty about a situation. But all honesty begins with looking within and aligning with God's call for us, with Source's call for us. And the more we align with Source, the more that we align with Spirit, the more honest that we become. Perhaps you may hear a brutal truth this week as Mercury retrograde starts. And this brutal truth is going to be something that causes you to make that transition. I think it's something that you've been feeling stuck about or something that you have been blinded to. But that brutal truth is coming in for you. And that brutal truth is going to have you ready to break ties with the physical and connect more deeply with God, connect more deeply on a spiritual level. You have or are in the process. I love that these are very powerful cards for you, but you have decoded are are in the process of decoding the energy of manifestation, and you are learning how to put that energy into action. And as soon as we crack that code, as soon as we put that energy into action, there is unlimited gifts, there is unlimited manifestation. And those gifts and those manifestations begins with our thoughts and how we direct our thoughts and how we speak to ourselves and the emotions that we use to create energy. Ah, hey, dope boy. I'm a little bit confused. You're straight, so no chase. Thank you. Can I, if Robert and you are meant to marry, Cheryl? And Cheryl, how long have you known Robert? And what is Robert's zodiac sign? Because we're looking here and I see that Fool's card, and we did talk about those closest to you wanting or needing your attention, that there is a void that needs to be filled, that quite possibly you've been spending too much time in your public life, you've been spending too much time focusing on your career, and it's time to put many of those things in your career, many of those things in your public life on the back burner so you can focus on your home life, you can focus on your love life. And let's see. And we have the Page of Wands. And Cheryl, the Page of Wands is the passion, is a fire card. And we see the page moving forward and taking the next step, but it looks like it is slow in coming. So it looks like, yes, that you and Robert will marry, but it is going to be slow in coming, slow in happening. The page is one of the slowest cards in the deck, but I like that he is moving forward. And even if we look closer, we can see his feet are kind of firmly planted there, and he's being really hesitant about taking the next step. And I think that that's possibly what is going on with Robert, is he's really just being hesitant about taking the next step. And I think maybe again, going back to earlier in the reading, the taking the next step is that there seems to be some warmth and affection that is missing because of the focus on career and uh, public life. And so, hopefully, during this Mercury retrograde, as things slow down and we make time, we'll be able to increase that feeling of affection and warmth. Did anybody have a question that they would like to ask? Maybe about any of the cards that are on the table or anything that we've talked about? If you do have a question, please do write that in the comment section and I will be very happy to ask that question. I do ask that you limit it to one question. Um, just yes, I am not doing private or personal readings at this time. So if anybody does reach out to you, please know that that is not me. I will never ask for a donation, although I do work for donations. If you would like to donate, please only donate using the links on my channel. I will never reach out to you in email or text message or ever reach out asking for a donation. I just don't feel that that's quite right. Thank you, Spirit.